morning and welcome to Love Every Moment, coming to you today from the Blue Hole of Santa Rosa, New Mexico. Today's verse is 1 Peter 2:16. Act as free men and do not use your freedom as a covering for evil, but use it as bondslaves of God. Now, putting this in context, we started with keep your behavior excellent among the Gentiles. Why? Because they're looking for things to criticize Christians about, so don't give them any ammunition. Then it says, here's one of the ways you could do that. Submit to the government. Yes, even a corrupt government. Newsflash, they're all corrupt. Now we have act as free men and do not use your freedom as a covering for evil. From here, I want to talk about the biblical concept of meekness. Meekness doesn't really register high on Christians' moral plane anymore. If you ask a Christian woman what does she look for in a man, she's not likely to list meekness at the top of her list. Or if we're looking to elect a leader, are we looking for a meek leader that's going to listen to the other side? No, we want a bully who's going to shove it down their throats and be aggressive and forceful. So yet meekness is listed as a fruit of the Spirit in Galatians 5:23. Also in Matthew 5:5 that I covered way long ago over here, it says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Now Jesus is the ultimate example of meekness, and we need to understand that meekness does not mean weakness, and it's not wimpiness. The biblical concept of meekness is coming from a position of great power or resource or authority, and yet choosing not to use that against someone in order to minister to them or to obey God. With that in mind, let's think about a couple of things. Now, we already know about Jesus' famous declaration, render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. This is one way we could show meekness by obeying the government, because we know we have a greater resource of currency in heaven than we do on earth. Now, but here's another one a lot of people don't mention. Look at Matthew 17:24. When they came to Capernaum, those who collected the 2 drachma tax came to Peter and said, does your teacher not pay the 2 drachma tax? He said, yes. And when he came into the house, Jesus spoke to him first, saying, what do you think, Simon? From whom do the kings of the earth collect customs or poll tax? From their sons or from strangers? When Peter said from strangers, Jesus said to him, then the sons are exempt. However, so that we don't offend them, and he shows how he can pay the tax. The idea is we come from a position in heaven, a position that's much greater than a regular citizen here on earth. We really shouldn't have to pay tax, but we're going to, so that we don't offend them. Here's another one. When Jesus was arrested, Peter draws a sword to try to defend Jesus. And Jesus says in Matthew 26:53, do you not think that I cannot appeal to my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? Jesus has great authority, but chooses to submit and practice weakness, even to the point of death, to a corrupt government. Or when Jesus was going through that mock trial, and Pilate didn't answer Pilate. Pilate said to Jesus, do you not know that I have authority to crucify you or release you? And in John 19:11, Jesus answered, you would have no authority over me unless it had been given to you from above. And again, Jesus practiced meekness, not flexing this authority, and instead submitting to a corrupt government. Now, that makes us essentially sojourners here in America, because our true citizenship is in heaven. One last example. Soon I'm heading to Alaska, and in order to get there, I have to pass through Canada. I happen to own a pistol, and I even have a concealed carry weapon permit that gives me actually a lot more authority than the average Canadian citizen. Yet as I pass through their country, I'm going to practice meekness, submit, and not carry my weapons through. Back to our main verse. It says, act as free men. You know, we have more freedom in Christ than we do in the Bill of Rights. We have a greater king than any president we could have. We have a greater document of freedom in the Bible than we do in the Constitution. So for that matter, let's choose to love every moment, because then we're going to love every moment. I'm your average wretch, and I hope you have a great week.